Hello, we're getting ready to start Unit 4, or Module 4, and we're doing Lesson 3 today. We are actually going to start Lesson 3 with our sprint. We haven't had a sprint since we started Module 4, but we do today. So let's go ahead and take a look at our sprint. One thing I want to caution you of is that you need to watch carefully whether you're doing an addition problem or a subtraction problem. I noticed when I did this one myself that it was switching. We had addition, 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 subtraction, 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 addition, subtraction, subtraction, addition, 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 subtraction, 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 addition, subtraction, 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 subtraction. You need to watch those signs, my friends, because if you don't, you're going to get yourself mixed up. I know I did. So I'm hoping that you will learn from my mistake and not be in such a rush that you don't pay attention to whether you're doing an addition problem or a subtraction problem. Remember that you're working for 1 minute. This is the first time we've had a sprint where we're going back and forth between addition and subtraction in not any particular way. We're just going, you really have to watch that sign. So 1, 2, 3, 4 addition, 1, 2, 3, 4 subtraction, then an addition and a subtraction. So I'm just going to tell you that you need to be very careful as you do that. I'm going to let you time that one at home, both the A side and the B side. And again, I'm going to remind you to be very careful of addition, 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 subtraction. Subtraction, 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 addition. You really have to watch those. Subtraction, subtraction, addition, addition, addition. Subtraction, 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 addition, subtraction, 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 subtraction. Boy, you really have to watch that. So go ahead and try each one of those sprints for 1 minute, and then I will show you the key for those. And then we will move on to the problems, or not the problem set, but the problem application, which is the next page. So pause the video and try these two sprints, 1 minute apiece, addition and subtraction. Watch carefully. Pause the video. Are you back? Okay, here is the answer key for side A. Check your answers. I had to fix mine. I made a few little boo-boos because I got in a big fat hurry and wasn't paying attention to my addition and subtraction sign. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Pause that video so you can check that side. And here is side B. Again, you're watching, hopefully you watched carefully for the addition and subtraction signs. Okay, pause that video so you can check that. Alrighty, so now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and move on to our word problem. Please remember that you are also using cubes besides the read, write, and draw method. I'm going to read through this with you, and I want you to realize that this problem has 2 steps. It has 2 steps. These are pretty clearly marked out with step A and step B. So Tyrell put 19 stamps in his book on Monday. I'm going to box that in. And on Tuesday, he put in 32 stamps on Tuesday. So he's got 2 different days that he's putting in stamps. This is your data that you're going to need. Part A, I'm going to divide my workspace into 2 parts. So this will be the A part and this will be the B part. And I am looking at what my question is for A. How many stamps did Tyrell put in his book on Monday and Tuesday? How many stamps did Tyrell put in his book on Monday and Tuesday? You're going to show your work in the A part, and then in the B part, if Tyrell's book holds 90 stamps, how many more, that's a big key word there, keywords, how many more stamps does he need to fill his book? So you're going to have to get part A correct before you're going to be able to do part B. I'm going to remind you that both of these questions do require a word answer, both here on the front as well as on the back side, which you should be doing every single time. Okay, as I was saying, you'll need to have a word answer for both the A part and the B part. Tyrell put how many stamps into his book on Monday and Tuesday? I'll need to see your work here on how you figured that out, whether you're using a bar model or a tape model, or if you are using a number bond, whatever you would like. And then part B, Tyrell still needs blank more stamps to fill his book with 90 stamps. And I will see your work for that one. So remember, this is a two-step problem. I'm going to ask you to pause the video, if you would. You're going to try this problem, and when you're ready, you're going to come back and we'll take a look at it. Pause the video. Are you back? Okay, here we go. So on part A, we had to find out how many stamps Tyrell put in his book on Monday and Tuesday. That was question 1. So you may or may not have done it exactly like I did it, but here is a possible way that you could have solved that problem. I used the tape model and found out that Tyrell put 51 more stamps into his book. These are the equations that I used to solve that. Once I knew 51, then it was easy for me to come over and make another tape model. I knew that all in total in his book he had to have 90 stamps. I knew from Monday and Tuesday he had 51 stamps, so I still needed to find out how many more he had to have. So that was the number I was looking for, which was 39. 51 plus something equals 90, and I broke it down into these number equations so that I could solve this problem. Tyrell still needs 39 more stamps to fill his book with 90 stamps. So if you had trouble with that or were a little bit lost, you might want to go back and try that again, looking at the steps that I took. And if you found a way that works for you, that's wonderful, as long as you could solve the problem and show your work on how you got there. Okay, then on the second side, you needed to answer these two questions. So for part A, Tyrell put 51 stamps in his book, and for part B, Tyrell still needs 39 more stamps to fill his book with 90 stamps. All right, I hope that you watched the video with Mrs. Chin today. What she did will be very helpful in helping you to figure out how we can use this problem to help solve the next two, this problem to help solve the next two, this problem to help solve the next two, and this problem to solve the next two using the arrow way method. I did watch that video twice just because it was a new way for me to think about numbers. And if you find that it's a little confusing, go back and get yourself a piece of scratch paper. I know I did for the problems I was working. Oops, that was a different problem. Nevertheless, it was some scratch paper that I used to help me, because they don't give you very much space to be able to work right there. So please feel free to get a piece of scratch paper, but also make sure that I can see your work here as well. So I'm going to tell you that you need to do the problem set, which is part A, B, D, and C. And over the page, you will also need to do the second part of the problem set using the arrow way as she showed us in the video. Oh, I need to go back. So you're going to notice on the first side we have addition, and then subtraction and subtraction for those two problems, and then a bit more practice as we come over to the next part of the problem set with addition, subtraction, and subtraction. There's also a word problem at the very bottom of the page that you are going to use this method to help solve this word problem. Make sure that you use cubes as well as read, draw, and write. All right, so I'm going to ask you to go ahead and pause the video so that you can complete those two problem sets. Please feel free to use extra scratch paper if you needed to. I know I needed to. It helped me a lot if I used a little bit of scratch paper, so I hope that you will too. Oops, cubes with an S. And then we'll come back in just a minute and we'll show you the solution. This is probably going to take you a little bit of time to do these two pages. I'm going to say probably at least 30 minutes. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a lot of problems that you need to do there. But when you get finished with that, you'll feel very confident to do the exit ticket, which of course you need to send to your teacher. you need to send that to your teacher so she can see how you're doing. And there is something that we have not done before on the exit tickets on problem number 2. It says show or explain how you used mental math, in particular how you used just solving things in your head to solve one of these problems up here. So you can choose which one of these problems you'd like to explain how you can do just using mental math. And I will be looking for an explanation there. So I'm going to turn the time back over to you, have you pause the video, take care of these 2 pages on the problem set, then you're going to check them with my answer key, and then you're going to do the exit ticket and send it to me. So pause the video. All right, are you back? Okay, so I'm trying to make this a little easier for you to be able to see where things were going, because I had to write kind of small. But for problem A, you should have had 58. The second one was 59, and the third one was 57. So I'm going to highlight those for you. You can see how much work I put into each one of those. You may find a little shorter way to do it, but I chose to do the arrow way, adding 10 at a time. You could add 20 or 30 at a time if that was easier for you. So for letter B, you should have had 87, 88, and 86. And on C, 24, 23, and 25. And on D, 25, 24, and 26. So there's that. If you need to pause to take a good look at how I chose to do those, you are welcome to do so. And let's take a look over here at this page. This time your answers were going across this way, so they're a little easier to see with 69, 70, and 68, 93, 94, and 92, 64, 63, and 65. I used all of these different methods when I was solving these, some mental math, some arrow way, some number bonds, depending on what was easier for me to be able to see. And then you had for letter D, 53, 55, and 57. And E was 44, 23, and 56. So your final answer for number 3, I needed to write out my word response, which I didn't. Jamie's mom got 90 pieces of fruit when I added 22, 19, and 49. And you can see that I used methods that we have been talking about in order to be able to come up with that. I started by adding 22 and 19 together and came up with 41. And then I took 41 and I added that to 49, coming up with 90. All right, so with that, you are going to send your exit ticket to your teacher, and then you will be done for the day. I hope you had a great day of learning. We'll see you on the next lesson.